Hey, you guys, you're going to want to listen all the way through this episode because we're going to get into the details of Swiss pronunciation.
Yeah, we will.
I get to explain what a boy genius actually is, and let me tell you, it's not what you think.
Thank you so much, Kelly. And we'll get to an audience question about our favorite tour or tours from the 90s. Enjoy
Fun.
the show, everyone.
Hey, you guys, I'm Sharon. That's Kelly. And that guy's Adam. How are you
Oh,
guys?
yo. I'm
Yo.
Good way to start the show.
Yo.
Hip-hop
Feeling like
vibes.
winter. That's what November does to us. Makes us feel like winter. And fun fact, we're going to tell you why it's not too soon to be making plans for summer 2024. Also going to see what Sharon Stone had to say about her significant role in a movie that's over 30 years old right now and is still finding new fans. Also, Kelly's trivia will be like a setup to failure, but like in a really good way. And your 90s Rewind will feature a couple of covers, a handful of songs to remind you just how great our favorite decade is. Still happening after all. Now, the nominees are in for the Grammys. And not much surprise as to who's getting some love this year. So why don't we start there, you guys?
Okay.
I think of names like Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift, who's not lacking for attention at all. And she's certainly collecting some more hardware, or she's up to collecting some more hardware from the Grammys, right?
But you know what's amazing is the
Yeah.
fact that this year she is not the top nominee.
But she's still there.
Who is?
My girl SZA.
Well deserved. That's an amazing
SZA
album.
is amazing. 9 nominations. She's leading the pack. Then it's Victoria Monet. And I think there's another one that also has 7. And then it goes to 6, which is Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, John Baptiste.
John Baptiste in that category with those
Taylor
Swift
Swift.
kids.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of, do you guys know Victoria Monet?
Is she any relation to our friend Janelle? And by friend, I mean not our friend at all.
Yeah, I have a picture with Janelle Monet. No, she spells her name Monet.
Oh,
yes.
Even more artistic.
More artistic. So Adam would have to look, but I know that she has done a lot of. So Victoria Monet is an artist, but she's also a prolific songwriter and has done a lot of work with Ariana Grande.
Wow.
And I believe had a hand in like the 7 Rings song. Like basically, I think every hit song from like Ariana is Victoria Monet.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
cool.
wrote on 7 Rings, and that's just according to my first Wikipedia page I found. Thank you, next. 35 plus, 34 plus 35. A bunch
Can you
of.
check and see if there's a Reddit thread on her too?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me-
So the list is long for Victoria, and so she launched her solo career. So she's also an R&B artist, and so 7 nominees or nominations, I should say. And get this, her little 2.5-year-old daughter Hazel is now the youngest nominee for a Grammy ever because she got nominated as part of one of Victoria's song called Hollywood, which also features Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ooh, nice.
So I kept thinking to myself when I saw this, I was like, I wonder if Beyonce's Blue Ivy is jealous. Yeah, exactly. Like 13 or whatever she is. Because didn't she got a nomination right at like 11 or something?
Yeah.
So but little baby Hazel, 2.5, she's got the record now. So that's pretty epic.
It's absurd though. Like, I get it, but come on.
Yeah. And our good friend Janet, by the way, just posted Jackson, yeah. So she posted a picture in the last 24 hours because she was at a Victoria Monet concert. And there's a picture with Victoria, and Victoria is losing her marbles. She's like, I can't believe I met you. Like, she's so happy. So that's great.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find nominees for rock album of the year, and I can't.
Is it Metallica in there?
It has to be. They have to be in there.
72. What is it? It's 72
seasons.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah. And I think Greta is in there.
Oh, cool.
Does
That's
that
very
make
good.
sense? I believe I saw those names.
And what about Foo Fighters?
I think so. Oh, you know who I've now become like interested in is Boy Genius.
Yeah.
They were on Saturday Night Live.
I know, right? So they've got 6 nominations as well.
Awesome.
And for anybody who doesn't know do you know why they call themselves Boy Genius? Can I tell
Why
you
is
if
that?
you don't? Okay.
Please do.
So this is a great story. So Boy Genius is Phoebe Bridgers, Julian Baker, and is it Lucy? I can't remember. Lucy Dacus, something. Adam has to check.
Lucy's Bacchus.
Yeah. Anyways, so they're
Lucy Dacus.
Lucy, right? Lucy. Okay.
Lucy, yeah.
Yeah. So they are all around the same age, 28, 29-ish. They were all coming up together several years ago. And then they felt that they were getting pitted against each other in the press, like people trying to like, cause like whatever. This is like 2018, 2017, somewhere around there. So then they decided to like do a collab together.
Nice.
And then that ended up them figuring out that they really get along. So they ended up doing like, I think it was an EP at the time. And so when they were in the studio, and I'm not sure if it was when they were doing the EP or doing the album that they just have released this year, called The Record, I believe it is, they decided, I guess it would have been back in 2018. So yeah, when they were in the room working together, they said that they'd often been with like producers who, you know, were very overconfident in themselves as like producers and men in general. So they're like, so when they were, you know, fleshing out ideas, like they might say something like, oh, I have this idea, but I don't know if it's, you know, any good. And then they'd all say, well, why don't you just be like a boy genius? Because I'm sure they don't lack in confidence. So just tell us your idea anyway. And I'm sure it'll be great. And so that's how they came up with Boy Genius.
Nice. I love that story.
That's an amazing story. I loved it. Yeah. Thought it was cool. Yeah.
So they're up against Miley, which I think is an amazing album. I just love her sense
she has
of
six nominees too, right? Nominations. Yeah.
Yep. She's also up for record of album of the year and record of the year, which is cool. Lana Del Rey too. Talk about a success story. That she was one of the first artists, I think, that came out of like a YouTube as a resource. You know, like I think she was one of the first artists to really sort of establish herself and be, I think, a part of the conversation and the change of the equation as to how people calculate streams and how they become like an actual thing. You know, like we're so used to having YouTube now and people releasing stuff on YouTube that they had to change the equation back not that long ago, but to at least acknowledge that people were getting their music that way. Not just regular, you know, shopping for CDs or albums or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's still at it.
She's still doing it.
She's a goat now. Or no, not a goat. Sorry, take the goat back. She's an OG. That's what I meant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I don't remember the date of the Grammy, so that's the only
February
other thing.
4th, I believe.
That's good. Right in the dead of winter. We'll be super psyched to see an awards show that we all, you know, have a vested interest in.
I don't believe, and I maybe Adam can quickly check, but I don't believe they've named a host yet.
Ooh.
And now that James Corden has gone back across the pond, I'm not sure if they'll go back to the well and find LL Cool J.
I hope they find. I like LL, but
also his show's off the air now, so probably not. They'll probably go. They should get Latifah because she's on CBS.
That's true.
The Equalizer.
Yeah.
Actually, is it February 4th? Because when's Super Bowl? Is it Super Bowl February 11th? Because it wouldn't be on the same weekend, but I'm 90% sure it's February 4th.
No, the Super Bowl is the weekend after. So
okay, so then the Grammys
February 4th, and then the Super Bowl is the next weekend.
We're gonna have an action-packed February.
Can't wait.
We always do. And then 2 weeks later, it's my birthday. So
dun, 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 dun.
And that'll be birthday number 30.
See.
Yeah.
I
can't believe you're going to be 30, Adam. What the heck?
I can't either.
Yeah.
I can't,
awesome.
You know, the hangovers are getting a lot harder. So I guess I'm getting closer to 30, but
quite a journey.
Yeah.
Marked by empties.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to celebrate some early birthday fun, why don't we see what you know from the first 29 years of your life so far? And Kelly, line us up with some trivia.
90s now. Trivia.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
So there's lots of big words in this question. So
Ooh.
Oh,
fingers crossed for all three of us that I get
All
three
right.
and you have an answer. So here we are. In 1991, the Federal Supreme Court of Switzerland forced the Swiss canton region of Appenzell, Innerrhoden, I really hope I said that all right, to finally accept what? And apologies to anybody in Switzerland if that's not how you pronounce Innerrhoden. Maybe it's Innerrhoden.
Can you
I'm
repeat
not
the
sure I
question without the
understand
city
the
names? Those are distracting us, like you're talking about IKEA furniture. What is it, a shelf?
In 1991, the Federal Supreme Court of Switzerland, first of all, who knew they had one? Anyways,
Living and learning, Kel.
forced the Swiss canton region of Appenzell, Innerrhoden, to finally accept what? And I feel like Appenzell, Innerrhoden is one place.
Okay, well.
Appenzell,
Yeah.
Innerrhoden. What did they need to finally accept?
I don't know, some language.
Sharon,
Go, Sharon.
that they are like the inventors of chocolate.
That's kind of smart though. Could have
I
been.
know.
That is a smart one.
Kelly's,
Adam,
Kelly's
anything?
toque is too tight. She's laughing too hard. Hard.
It is a too tight. I like it though.
I don't know. They were forced to be part of Switzerland.
Oh, that's a good guess also. Nope. The answer would be women's suffrage.
Mm.
They need to finally
I picked
accept.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean they finally allowed women to vote? Is that what it means?
That the suffrage would be over.
I guess so. But that seems like
Isn't suffrage like in French the same word for voting?
what's
Or
the women's suffrage movement,
suffrage,
Sharon?
Kelly,
What's
sorry, but
suffrage?
these are your questions, dear. You get to come up with all the reasons and the answers. This one.
I just found the nice blue card that looks like
So I just Googled women's suffrage. Women's suffrage is the right of women to vote in elections.
oh, there we go. They
And they
waited
did that
all
in the
way till
90s?
1991?
That is
Oh,
late.
God.
That's ridiculous and not in a good way.
And I
Jeepers.
should get a point to be the only person here to know what we were talking about.
Well, you all, yes, because I think you should be given a point because you dug deeper.
I
And
know.
Googled.
Well, I just had to confirm it by Googling, but I did know what it means. You two looked at me like I was mentally ill.
I stopped listening after Flip and Flicker. Whatever she said, Innerrhoden. There. I'm like,
Appenzell,
I don't know.
Innerrhoden.
The answer's not chocolate. So
I'm gonna find out because one of Elaine's good friends, her husband is from Switzerland, so I'm gonna ask how to pronounce Appenzell, Innerrhoden.
Or you can ask him, why did they take so long to let women vote?
Yeah.
Right,
In
just
the
punch him
modern
in the head.
world.
Should I just be like,
give him a Swiftie.
yeah, on behalf of his entire countrymen, he can take that.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. The
All right.
question is now hobbies, toys, and games.
Mhm.
And so the question will be, one second, I'm just making sure. Yep, here we are. Released in 1994, what was the name of the first game from the Warcraft fantasy universe?
Sharon,
Sharon.
Minecraft?
Ooh, super close.
I was just about to say World of Warcraft.
Adam, well, here, so Sharon gets to decide. So it is Warcraft. The
Mhm.
answer is Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans.
Humans or humans?
Humans?
Oh, is it? Okay, I just want to make sure. So orcs and humans?
Yeah.
Give them the point.
Yeah. What's it? Do we know what an orc is? I don't
No,
know.
I wanted to make it seem I had to make good on the suffrage stuff
Yeah.
from before. So orcs and humans, you say?
Yes,
Mhm, give them the
exactly.
point.
Adam, you're having a banner week.
Well, because
Ah.
orcs are like I guess it's like, in Lord of the Rings, the orcs are like they're just really ugly creatures that are evil.
This is why I don't get these ever right, because I don't watch any fantasy business nor play video games. So
Me neither.
yeah, it's all you, little Adam.
I'm not the biggest gamer there is, but I
But you like to party.
I do. Well, as I said, the hangovers are getting worse,
It's
so I'm
winding down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till you start forgetting where you put your car keys, Adam. Good luck.
Oh, that'll happen.
You know what I did the other day? So a friend, because I don't have a car, right? So
Hard to find your keys if you don't have a car. Go on.
my mom gave me her car for a full week while she was going south. She went to Mexico.
Nice.
And for 3 days, I left the car parked in the streets, because I don't have a garage, or, I just park on the streets. And
Yeah.
I left the key in the car. It's the kind of keys where you just have to press the button and the key
Key
is
fob.
here.
Yeah.
And for 3 days, the key was just sitting in the cup holder. And anybody could have just gone with a car.
So you didn't even lock the door.
Well, no, because the keys are near, you can just put your thumb on the door handle and
Yes.
the door would have opened.
Oh my God.
So, anyways, all is good. I have
All's
secured
well.
the
She doesn't
keys.
need to know.
She doesn't need to know, but for 3 to 4 days.
Wow.
With the
Get
amount of good
longer.
luck, with the amount of good luck you're having, Adam, you need to buy a lotto ticket.
I
Yeah.
did. And I won a free participation for the next draw.
Oh, wow.
So the dream is still on.
There
You're
we are.
in it to win it, man.
We are.
Yeah, baby.
Fancy.
Wow.
Fancy.
Hey, well, you know who else is in it to win it, you guys?
Sharon Stone.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for jumping on my cheesy segue. Sharon Stone had to actually take a really good look at herself for her role in Basic Instinct, which is now over 30 years old, still finding new fans. What she said about the experience, quote, "I got to confront my whole self, and that's a scary journey. But once you do it, you walk away with a tremendous amount of confidence because you've had to look at all of yourself, parts of yourself you'd never have to dig deep and look at, scary parts, dark parts, concerning parts. And once you do that, you get quite a bit of confidence because you've really looked into that dark mirror." Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, man. And then she goes on to say, "It's been fun to see how the genre of that kind of a thriller is enjoying a bit of a revival this many years later." And she thinks that people like getting into that, the sexiness of it and the funness of it. Because she basically had to do all the work, right? If she did all that introspection and deep dives into her dark self, then she's really taken one for the team. So everybody else should enjoy the movies this many years later.
Yeah.
Wow, she's amazing. She's an amazing person.
I didn't read her book. Did you?
I did not either.
Yeah.
So many
And
words.
guess what? Neither did I.
Okay. Sharon might be surprised by this, but I never saw Basic Instinct.
Hey, guess what? I think I did, but I think I saw it then. So it's that many years later that there's not much left. I remember Michael Douglas and Jean Triplehorn and her crossing her legs.
Yeah, that's the only
Must
thing
have
I
been-
knew about that video or movie, was that it was like the big risky leg
Wow.
cross scene.
Yeah.
But is that because
Rewind.
she was actually
Rewind.
naked or something? It was that, right?
Yeah. Dark parts. Remember she said that. All right. Congratulations to her and the reflection that still seems to be given to her. Looking forward to summer at all, you guys? Have you made any summer plans? We're not even, completely out of this summer. We still see
I've just
sunshine
busted
here.
out my toque, Sharon. So
Clearly. But
It is
if I'm
literally snowing outside the studio right now.
yeah, it's happening. It's precious.
where's
That's-
my cookies you're supposed to make, Sharon, for the
Well,
the
I'm going to
fall
make
season?
them. You say this every week. It's not time, but it's coming.
Yeah, but it's like
Don't sass
cold.
me.
It's like
Don't sass me. That was it. Okay. Baking season hasn't begun yet,
all right.
but it's coming. Now back to the summer.
Elaine
Now
made
back to this.
muffins. Elaine made muffins like right now.
Hey, shiny object over here.
The house smells amazing. Back to you, Sharon.
Back to the summer of 2024. Okay,
Yep.
you guys? 5 letters for you. NKOTB.
SB. No,
SB. No, just them, right? Just New Kids are
No, it
doing
is
their
just them.
tour.
yeah, with Paula.
And as exciting as it may be, you always think they're coming to my town. They're not coming to our town. I think the closest that they're coming is Toronto, at least as Canadian cities go.
Mhm.
I'm going to bet they're going to Boston, though, which is a fun alternative, by the way. And I know you know that, Kel, for seeing
Yep.
concerts
Mhm.
there. But how cool is that? I love that they're still doing it. And
Yep.
always for the right reasons. None
Yep.
of them
Yeah,
need the
they
money.
probably need the money.
I don't know about
No.
that.
The
Or
only
they
one,
want more.
the
Who
only like
doesn't?
the only ones who I think could use the money possibly because I don't know that they have other things going on is Jordan
Mhm.
and Danny. Because Jonathan has that whole like redecorating business,
Right.
and like he had that TV show on Home and Garden Network, HGTV.
Yep.
Which I don't know if it's still on that network, but he still has like a show thing. And so, and then Joe McIntyre still does performances and solo shows. And Donnie's on Blue Bloods and does like a million other things. So I think it would only be those two that just like I don't know that they have a job apart from like that. I know Danny has a
Right.
foundation, I think, to honor his mother.
Oh, that's nice.
Because she died young, right? Like I don't know if she was in her 50s or something, like
Oh, wow.
maybe early 60s. But so I think he has a foundation. But yeah, I don't think. And here's the thing, Jordan, at last report, he has no social media.
Really?
Yeah, he found that he was on his phone too much, and so like I think he said it was during pandemic or just after he flushed them. He's
Good
living
for
his best
him.
life. Yep.
That said, thanks you guys for following us on social media.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
You guys ready for a 90s rewind?
Ready.
Ready. Well, this particular occasion takes us back to around this time in 1994. Bit of a sweet spot, right? It's a nice even year, and here comes the hot stepper. Murderer. Ini Kamoze?
Mosey, I think.
It was his only chart hit. And the opening song on the soundtrack to Pret-a-Porter, which was a Robert Altman film. The soundtrack also featured Salt and Pepper with a song called Here We Come. Here we come. Here come the sisters with the stuff. Great song. But they had a different song on the charts at this time, which made things quite clear with lines like, and she want to be a freak and sell it on the weekend. You know what? It's none of your business. Okay, you guys. It's just not. Salt and Pepper on fire. Now, Luther and Mariah took on Endless Love after Diana Ross and Lionel Richie did it like 13 years earlier or so.
Mm-hmm.
And beautifully. John Mellencamp and bassist extraordinaire Michelle Ndegeocello. Take a minute to enjoy that pronunciation. Slaps some cool on their cover of Wild Night, which was a Van Morrison hit from over 20 years before. And the now Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Sheryl Crow was singing about getting to have, well, all the fun. All I Want to Do was a third single from her debut album, the Tuesday Night Music Club. The song hit #2 in the States, #1 in Canada. The next single, which was Strong Enough, beautiful song, also hit #1 in Canada. Eh? Eh. And that's your 90s rewind.
Good job, Sharona. Good job.
Thanks.
We have
Thanks
an audience question before we
Ooh, let me
bounce.
know.
Uh-oh.
So audience question from Antonio.
Antonio.
Antonio was wondering what tour, and so this might be hard on Adam because he was like very little, but like what tour from the 90s would you like to revisit? Like if you could go out and see that show again.
Well,
That
I'll
we've
go
seen or
first.
missed and want to go back to.
Let's see it again, like to see it happen again. Adam, do you have anything?
My first tour ever was in 2010. That was my first concert. So obviously I haven't seen nothing from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just love to go back and see anything that Prince has done on stage.
Good one.
Yeah.
So that would be my
Sharon, did you
Yeah.
go to the Prince concert the year before he died?
No, I didn't, because I had seen him at Place des Arts, which is a wonderful room. It's a few thousand people, and the acoustics are amazing. And he was in Montreal as part of the Jazz Fest, and he came on and did like a, I don't know, 40-minute jam where he said maybe 3 things, like baby, and then backed off the mic and just jammed it. And then came up, like, yeah, and then backed off, blah, blah, blah. And people left because he said, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be back. And he did. And people left. Like there were fewer people that they didn't come back. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, what are you doing? Because not that I knew anything, but I knew he couldn't, even if he was just going to do that again, it's still Prince, you know? Anyways, he came back on and said, you know what, let's have some fun and do the hits. Boom. So then it was like 2 hours of hits. Like, oh my God.
He was probably
amazing.
testing. He was testing his true fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also saw him at the Bell Center, and then he came, I think, twice after that, where he did surprise shows, right? And like,
yeah, I saw him Bell Center the year before he died, and I'm so grateful because I hadn't seen him before, and so
he was amazing.
Oh my God, and he just kept doing this, like, because he also jammed out, but he was also singing, but like it was like whatever he was singing, but then he would just go Montreal like that. Like, he must have said Montreal like 25 times, like, and then he'd be like,
remind himself where he was.
Yeah, he's like diddly, diddly, Montreal, like diddly, diddly, like he was going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of a 90s specific concert that I was at, and I mean, aside from Prince.
So I, without a doubt,
George Michael. No, that was the 80s. I saw him in the 80s and then in the 2000s.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
There has to be a 90s show, Sharon.
I know.
Clubs.
Well, I was all about the clubs.
So you didn't go to a concert? You just
I couldn't. I was in the clubs. Even Guns N' Roses were here with Metallica. Remember that famed show where Axl bailed, and then that was after James Hetfield got hit by some of the pyro.
Yeah.
And then the riots happened. I wasn't at that show because I didn't like the sound of the Big O. It's never sounded good in there, ever.
Yeah.
But so I was at a club when my friends came back from that show. I was there at the clubs waiting for them, but also didn't get stuck in a riot.
Very nice.
So there's that.
There's that. I would, without a doubt, even though I saw it 4 times, I would see Velvet Rope again in a heartbeat.
Cool.
98 tour. And then I would also I saw her in 94 for the Janet tour. So that I would also, that one I only got to see once. And
so you got to choose one, Kelly.
Kelly.
Well, then I still think it would be Velvet, even though like I love the Janet tour, but Velvet is like, that's it.
Nice.
Yep.
I gotta go look at my ticket stubs now to see what I saw, and then come back and say, hey, you guys, I got one.
That'll be your answer next week for Antonio.
Yeah. Antonio will ask a different question. I will give answers from the week before.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, I'm done now. Thank you.
Cool. Me too, guys. Thanks very much. Thanks everybody for, like we said, follow us on social media. We appreciate that. And finding us wherever it is that you do, and you take us along for the walk or the run or the road trip, and you're passing it on to your friends. We appreciate it. You're in a happy place here. Thank you for listening to 90s Now, still happening.